Hey friends, how's it going? I was guided to jump in here and do a video. I'm not having a great day today, and the last thing I really felt like doing was a video, but as Spirit reminds me, my higher self, that sometimes it's good to do videos when you're not having a great day or a great couple of weeks, because you are going through stuff like everyone is, and you're transmuting things are coming up to the surface, you're having a deeper awareness of things, you are letting go of old programming and cycles and patterns and limiting beliefs, and so many things are coming up to leave, as you know, your energy field. Pardon me if I've had something to eat and I got something, pardon me, stuck in my throat, so if I have to cough or stop, I apologize now in advance. And so sometimes it's good, right, to do a video when we're not always high vibing it out and at our greatest, because we always know that we go through the lows before we level up higher again. And I tell you, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say probably what I assume you're probably going to say something like what I think. Like, oh my God, like how many of these do we go through the lows and then we get the highs and then we're low again and the high? But what we're doing is there are a lot of us that are here that's not just been transmuting our own stuff, that have been or energetically transmuting the old slavery template, a lot of ancestry stuff, karmic stuff, all of that. So as we know, so this video is not about that. I'm not going to get into that, but I'm just saying that that's why I know that a lot of you understand that we go through different things and it's not always our own stuff. And I am incredibly sensitive empath and have been since a child. And it's really messed with my life a lot. And it's also messed with me in lots of different ways, where I've really had to try and discern over the last decade that of what's my energy and what's not. And I'm still sometimes, I think it's my energy, but I am connected to others that, it's their energy, and especially the collective as well. So we're not only, it's not just ours, it's not only the people we're closely connected to, it is also the collective. And so, but what I wanted to share with you that is something I've been going through really intensely over the last, particularly 8 months, but last 2 years overall. And I don't normally like to bring up a lot of stuff that I'm going through, because I like to come on here in high spirits and try and help people with other things. But I was guided to talk about it, and I kind of just said to my higher self, well, what's that going to do? Like, it's okay, people are just going to hear. But I was shown that there could be someone listening to this that it will help. So for myself, the last, and I'll try and do this as quick as I can, because who wants to watch long videos, hey? But, and thank you to those that are stuck by me and still watching. And if you're not and you're new, please subscribe. And if this resonates and you think it might help someone, share with someone else. And thank you to those that commented, again, that you still wanted me to keep doing videos. And a really dear divine masculine friend of mine, he had commented on the last video or one of the videos that it's helping him and my updates and things like that. So I sort of figured that I want to help people if they're going through similar stuff, So here I am. So the last, so for those of you that have been following me know, the last couple of years I have been living back with my mother, because I was living in Bali pre-COVID, going backwards and forwards, kind of doing the free spirit thing a lot, doing a lot of healing work over there, planetary grid work, stuff like that anyway. And I came back and I was stuck then in Melbourne, Victoria, that had so many lockdowns for the following 2 years. And we all know that it is difficult to go back and live with an elderly parent. My father has departed, transitioned many, many years ago. So it's just mum. And obviously, when you go back to stay for a length of time, that parent's going to become quite dependent on you. And then even though she's quite independent, and then we become dependent on them because you're living in the same house and you're doing things together and helping each other. And so what happened is I had an extreme amount of responsibility put on me, and particularly over the last 8 months, but I felt it also over the last 2 years, I suppose, through the COVID thing. And when I say extreme amounts, I mean huge. I felt the huge weight of responsibility in a lot of different areas. Now, I'm not going to go into personal details because I like to respect people's privacy and personal things, so I'll be able to explain this without actually talking about situations. But there was also some family members that put a lot of responsibility on me as well, and with other things and different things, and some, whilst they could still go off and live their life and put the responsibility on me, and others just me being there for them and helping them and doing things, and in all different ways. So I had felt an incredible responsibility, and it wasn't a burden because I would do it again in a heartbeat if I had to, because my mother's always been there for me, and she was in the process of, she's made a huge transition with her housing and everything in the last 8 months. She's elderly, she sold her house, she's relocated. I was helping her through all that, everything from all the legal situation, the realtor situation, everything. And it's a big deal, right? Selling a house, especially when you've been there so long, and just opens, opening inspections and all sorts of things. And so there was a lot on my shoulders, a huge amount on my shoulders. And what's happened, fast forward to now, because I'm going to try and make this quick, is that I knew that I had an awareness of it. Okay, so before I fast forward to now, I had set my boundaries more and more, and it has definitely shown me the deeper levels of boundary setting. And in fact, I've redone my boundary masterclass because I've learned even greater depths of levels of boundary setting through it all. And it's because, people, whatever frequency they're in, how it works. They won't stop and think that they are overstepping people's boundaries. And there was a lot of times where I'd say, look, I can't do this. I have to do my spiritual practice. I've got this to do. I've got that to do. But, I was still expected to just push all that aside and do the other stuff. And the response might have been along the lines of, oh, well, who else is going to do it? That was actually one of the top ones a lot. Who else is going to do it? So there was definitely a lot of new boundary setting. The thing is with this, when you have awareness of what's going on, it is a game changer. So if you don't have an awareness and you're caught in a loop of it, of a karmic pattern cycle, or even just having a lot of responsibility or codependency put on you or whatever, and you're not aware of that and you're just getting buried in it, then that's a difference. I had an awareness of it. Did I still feel like I was getting buried in it? Absolutely. Did I still feel like I had lost a lot of freedom in my life? Absolutely. But there was also the lockdown situation in our state that contributed to that as well, because I got stuck and couldn't go anyway. So and there's, there was things I did. Obviously, I had my own things I'd go out and do to get my space and things like that. But fast forward to now, is that I did not realize the amount of stress and pressure, even though I thought I was under incredible stress and pressure and responsibility. I did not really fully realize till I got here where I am now, which is a family house. It's empty. I'm here on my own, and it's in a completely different state. And this house has been available to me to shift here from the end of March, but I would not leave. I was still helping my mum pack up, all the situation of the house settling, all of that. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to do that because she was very stressed and she wasn't coping very well. And I was it. So if I kind of walked away, you know, it was going to be, it was just going to be too hard for her. So I chose to stay. And, but when I got here, I had this massive, and I traveled and got here like just before the full moon. So I've only been here a few days. So I had this massive release. And what I felt was, the first release was, I felt like I was lonely. I didn't want to be on my own because I had let go now of responsibility. And it was like, oh, okay. I mean, there was a couple of little things I've still had to tidy up, but most of it all was gone. And I had choices. And for the first time in a long time, I had choices of where to go, what to do. No one needed me for anything. I wasn't being like, you know, no one was putting the responsibility on me or for anything, and that I was allowing as well. And I do want to make that clear. I know some of you are saying I could have walked away anytime, and I do know that. I absolutely know that we can hold ourselves in these positions and we can move away anytime. But once all of that was off me, what happened is I had carried responsibility for so long that I actually didn't feel like I could choose, like make a choice for myself of where I was going to go and what I was going to do. And I am going through this at the moment where sometimes we can be held in that energy of thinking we have to do this or we have to stay here, or we're being so responsible, that when all of that goes, we kind of like, oh, okay, so now where was I? Like, it's a bit like that energy of where was I? And what's happened is I don't even feel like I can be responsible for myself, because I feel so worn out, so tired, so like not tired as in lack of sleep tired, but physically exhausted. All of these frequencies, right? I mean, obviously this moon's a doozy. We know that. It already come off the back of what I was already on and what I was feeling. Oh my God. And so I just, you know, and I've been bringing up things like I'm sure everyone else has, and, you know, seeing it come up and transmute it, and that's all great. And I've been going to a deeper levels with these boundaries, which is also amazing. But now I'm kind of in a situation where I just saying to the universe today, I am so sick of having responsibility. I just want someone to come in and do it for me. Like I now feel like I want that incredible support. I want somebody to come in or to, you know, I want the universe to gift me somebody now to be a support to me, to help me, to kind of, where I'm not doing everything all the time, where I'm not, you know, yes, I've always been a people pleaser my whole life and a fixer-upper. Like I just dive in and help people. And I worked on that the last couple of years, and I got to a point where I didn't do that or as much. And then I felt like I had to pull myself back with the situation I've been in the last 2 years. I've been pulling myself back at different times. And it seems harsh to say, you know, to your family member or whatever, no, I can't help you. You have to, you know, sort that out yourself. And because people come codependent on each. But, you know, there's this very deeply ingrained template on this earth that it's like for elderly parents or for family, like you've got to be there, you've got to do it, despite whether, you know, you're off path or despite whether you don't get time to do your things or put yourself first or whatever, you got to do it. And so when you are explaining that to a family member and they're still in that old pattern of that, it sounds like it can sound mean, it can sound you don't want to help them, you know how it goes. So these are the things, though, that this is all our responsibility, right? To, as light workers here on the planet, the roles we play, what we've come to do to change this template. You know, we've come to clear a lot of stuff. And so it's our role to, no matter how that other person feels, to change that, to transmute that, to not continue on the same pattern and cycle. So this is also what I've been doing over the last couple of years, and it can get exhausting, absolutely. So I just wanted to explain that and see if someone else is going through the same thing. And what I'm feeling now is a lot of what spirit is guiding me to do is to just surrender it, come back to asking. You know, I'm always been great at giving, but I always suck at receiving. And a lot of givers and people pleasers, they do suck at receiving. And so I feel like sometimes my higher self gets me so exhausted and worn out that I have no choice but to ask for help and to say, okay, I can't do this anymore. Like, okay, I'm receiving. Like, woo, open those fucking doors wide open. Like I'm receiving, opening my heart. I'm receiving because I just feel like even just as something simple as cooking dinner. I went grocery shopping because I got here and obviously there was nothing much in the house. It's a few things, but I had to go grocery shopping, and for 2 days I just didn't feel like I had it in me to go grocery shopping, and so I ordered in, and I had a few bits and pieces that I bought with me, but then I went grocery shopping today and I've come back and I just can't be bothered cooking dinner because I just feel exhausted. And it's just, I feel like I've been going and turned on, like, you know, the light switch on for so long at that pace that it's like, and you don't realize how kind of stressful in a way. Like I keep centered and balanced, and I wouldn't have called it stress, but it still is a huge responsibility. And you don't realize until that's gone that you kind of go, oh, now, you know, and emotionally you just collapse. Emotionally you just go, wow. And so I have an opportunity. It's like I even have some amazing opportunities, and I'm like, I don't even know what I want to do now, you know, as in there's some projects that I'm working on that I just feel like I need to take a break from. My mother has, when everything's settled, she'd already booked a holiday. She goes overseas with my brother every year, and pre-COVID that happened, and then they haven't been able to do that since COVID. So my mum actually, you know, settled the house and off she trotted overseas, and they're asking me to go with them, like to meet them over there. And there's a part of me that's like, I got here and I'm like, well, what am I doing sitting in a house on my own when I wanted my own space, and I could be overseas, you know? So that's an option. There's another option, even to the point where I've wanted to just hop in the car and drive up the coast and pick where I would really love to settle and put roots down back in Australia. Because prior to that, I was overseas, and I don't even feel like I want to do that at the moment either. And there's a big part of me that doesn't even know if I want to stay in Australia and settle here, because of like COVID was a very different situation here than what I thought how Australia would handle it. So yeah, I just don't even know. There's still that I don't know if I want to stay here. So lots going on, and I know that there's a lot of people in the spiritual community and videos out, and people are saying similar things as in probably how I'm feeling, where we feel like we're ready for the new. And I feel like I've been ready for the new for a while, for so long. And it's like I had all these things sort of planned and I was ready for the new. And when this would happen, right? Like I knew when I was relieved of my responsibilities and all that was settled and I could get on my way, and really fully then embody my spiritual path and not be held back by anything and go for it. But then in that transition period of that happening, I'm just totally fucking exhausted. So now I'm like, you know, what to do. So I just thought I'd share this. Part of me feels like I've just been rambling about it, but I also feel like someone's going to resonate. And if you're listening to this saying, I'm feeling the same, situations might be different, but you might be in situations where whatever it is for you, people have been codependent on you and relied on you, and you've been cutting those ties or setting deeper boundaries. And so now you're in a position where you can actually make the choices of freedom for yourself. You can go, oh, well, I'm going to leave, you know, a situation. It might be for you, you're going to leave a job or leave and move to another city or leave a partner or whatever it is, right? It's all energy. It'll play out differently for everybody in different situations of what they've had going on, but it's the same energy. It's the energy of releasing yourself from codependency, karmic patterns, old cycles, limiting beliefs, just set in your own ways, like feeling you have to do this, feeling that you're a people pleaser, or people have known that your whole life. So every time you go to set boundaries and you move forward in your path, someone will do something and they know, right? They know how to hold you back, or they don't mean to, but they know how to ask you things or to do things, and it's lovely that they see you in that light, that they go to you for guidance and help and sharing. But again, there has to be boundary setting, because otherwise people will tend to just drag you back. And a lot of people will say, a lot of people on my path have said, oh, I understand and respect your path, and I don't want to interfere with that, but there's always a but. And then, but can you just do this, or can you come here with me, or can you help me with this, or so it's just the way people are, right? And the frequency, and that's that evolving. Once they evolve more into their spiritual path, their evolution, they get to a higher level of consciousness, then they will get it and go, oh, actually, no, hang on. I don't want to overstep that person's boundaries, so let me ask first, let me pull back, all that stuff that we do when we realize that. And gosh, I know we've all done it. We've all done it unconsciously in our time. We've overstepped people's boundaries all the time, right? That's what humans do. That's what we're programmed to do from young. And but it's not what should happen. People should be more mindful of other people's energy, and being like, people talk about energy vampires and sucking that energy and all that sort of, that comes under all of that type of thing. So you might be in a situation where it's different to mine, but you're going through this yourself with actually having a greater awareness of where you can set yourself free, is what I kind of want to say, how I want to put it in a way, and that encompasses all of that. So I just wanted to share that and say that this is the time to do it and to step forward. And if you're in those situations and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you just can't go yet, or you just can't leave a job yet, or like in my situation over the last so many months, I just couldn't, leave my mum in the middle of all that. But that, a few months' time you're going to, what you could do is, and I know I could have done things better. I could have done things differently. I could have still moved on, but helped her from a distance in other ways. I could have organized packers. I could have organized other you know what I mean? We don't think that at the time. We just think, oh, we've got to do it all ourselves. and being like that my whole life as a helper all the time. Oh, well, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. You know, I don't mean to play the martyr or anything, but I think it's just because my whole life I've had to be independent and do so much for myself that I've just kind of, you know, jumped in. So there's always ways around it. And I think that sometimes we get tired and exhausted of trying to find those ways around it. But if we surrender and to our higher self and we say, okay, please guide us, you know, please remove the energies that is not ours, that is fragmented, that, you know, and return that to sender, as I always say, and reclaim your energy back, your soul energy back, and reclaim it to yourself, and say it out loud, and just ask your higher spirit to guide you. And when that happens, things will come up that might be tricky to push through, and that's where we've got to push through, because if we don't and we stay in the old, that's when your higher self will keep bringing it up for you to have another go, and that's how it works. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. I hope someone gets something from that. And yeah, intense times, and I think it's only through June I feel it's going to get or stay just as intense to the end. And I do feel July is going to pick up for a lot of us. So I know there is a lot of people that, like myself, that had been going through things that were ending and releasing. I had family members that had their own stuff going on, and that happened too, you know, and they've moved on now to new energy, which is fantastic. I've seen some other people, family and, friends that were like in limbo as well about where to go, what to do. They were transitioning through different energies and cycles and old patterns and letting them go and that. And then they actually, you know, over the last couple of months, they've now got into the new, and they're on their new path and taken the new timeline. So I have seen a lot of it around me, and including myself. It's like we're all stepping on to different timelines now. Our new timeline, which is our soul, like make sure it's your soul path timeline. Otherwise, you're just going to be, you know, as I say, train A is your soul path, train B is the ego path. So if you're just going to keep finding timelines on train B, you'll always then come up against, oh, okay, well, that's got to end, and that's got to end, and that's got to end, because, you know, all roads lead back to you and your soul. You're never going to be feel fully aligned, centered, balanced, bliss, have that bliss energy, and just feel alive like you do, and feel the love, feel that greater God consciousness love, unless you're aligning with your soul and your heart. So opening your heart more. So expansion is the big key at the moment as well. Lots of expansion. The more we can open our heart, not contraction, the more we can open that, we can open the doors and allow this to come in, right? We can just open those, as I said, those fucking doors to receive and let it come in. So, okay, guys, that's me done. It's nearly on about 30 minutes. That's a long one. Take care. Hope this helped. Yeah, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you like it, and you know it can help someone, please share it around, and put a like on it as well. And don't forget to comment. If you're going through things and you know and you want to comment, absolutely go ahead. Love to hear your comments, and I'll be back soon. Okay, and let you know where I'm going from here. You might see a video from me overseas or somewhere else, or I might be still here. But I'm just gonna chill. And that's another thing, just when you're feeling like that, just don't rush things. Just chill, just center, balance, just try and align, come back to your alignment. If that's meditation, out in nature, whatever it is for you to get back, listening to your higher self, and be kind to yourself, to not rush it. Like, just go, like for me, I'm just going to chill for the next few days. I might watch a bit of Netflix. I'm going to do a few maybe other videos or stuff. I'm going to do some other little bits and pieces, but I'm just purely not going to rush to make a decision, because sometimes, and if we have to rush to make a decision, like if I'm not doing a, yeah, fuck yes, I'm going overseas, or fuck yes, I'm going to do this, then it's not a soul hell yes. Do you know what I mean? So you have to just be patient, because we're in this bit of a limbo time where we know we're so ready for the new, and we've been waiting for it. We're so ready to step into it, but then in the physical world, it may not have quite matched up yet. Okay, so in the ethers, I've been feeling it coming for me for over 12 months. Huge. But it's just may not have aligned in the physical yet, and that's what we do have to think of that. But the second half of the year, over the next couple of months particularly, and probably even, well, actually no, I'd say the last couple of months it started, where it started dropping in the physical, and we start to really see the different changes, and i.e. what I've been talking about. So things that are setting us more free, to become more free spirits again, in connection with our heart and soul and our soul path. And yeah, okay. Take care, everyone. Sending you lots of love. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.